We get confused by the symbols and miss the real change. Hi, this is David Allen Greer for Errant #. We somehow think that the software business is new and different because the participants wear casual clothes, or they play foosball in the hallways, or they work in offices where there's more or less an infinite supply of junk food always available. Hollywood is adding to the confusion. It's, of course, rarely a friend of deep thought. And it's now giving us a television series that emphasizes all the foibles of young, undisciplined men who are rapidly earning a small fortune. Still, it doesn't take much effort to look beyond those symbols, indeed sort of beyond the software development process itself, and really see the sudden changes in the way that we organize our lives. Over the past, I'd say 5 or 6 years, I've met many people who believe that software, the software development process, is going to improve their lives, the lives of their families, the lives of their region. Behind this basic idea is a belief that's really now a staple of the industrial economy, that the free dissemination of knowledge is the great equalizing force, that it raises incomes. This faith is everywhere. You go to a state university, you see it. You see it in a woman's software school in Kuala Lumpur, a startup I once visited in a tired old office building on the north side of Moscow. The technology parks of Haidian in Beijing just drip this faith. And I've even been to a wealthy think tank on the shore of the Persian Gulf, where they believed that software was going to keep their lives rich and comfortable after the oil has run out. They all believe that software is going to make them better. But here's the point. Knowledge is really only one factor in production. If we emphasize it above all else, it just becomes another symbol and another thing that confuses us. Modern production really requires 3 other elements. In addition to knowledge, we need labor, capital, and management. In our day and age, labor is plentiful in the world. Capital, if you're considering it to be inexpensive computing resources, that too is also abundant. The management we tend to overlook, and coming at it from the engineering point of view, we often tend to look at it as a hindrance rather than a help, and fail to see how computing technology has really restructured our conventional ideas about both organizing and motivating work. At the moment, the state of management is really being shaped not so much by the grand theories you get at universities, but by social practices that have grown out of the way people have been able to exploit the internet. I had the opportunity to compare experiences with the leader of a large open source software development project. And as we talked back and forth, it slowly dawned on both of us that we really had quite a common experience, even though we were trained a generation apart. Both of us were self-taught in software. We got the manuals or got the information and developed it ourselves. We learned our craft really by working on development projects. There was little formal classwork that shaped us. The key thing that was quite different between us was the environment in which we worked. I learned my skills in the environment of the classic vertically integrated corporation. You knew who you reported to and who reported to you, if anyone. And you knew who to ask for computing time and where to find the manuals. My colleague learned his in the open source software world, where a large task was divided into little tasks placed on the market, and people bid not only for the tasks, but they also competed to say how the code was done, check if it was done properly, and determine if the results met the specification. The market made all the difference. If we want to put it in the words of the open source bard Stephen Raymond, I learned my skills in the cathedral. He learned his in the bazaar. Now, modern software has really given us tools that allow us to manage by marketplace, to divide work into those small pieces and offer it to the crowd of workers. This is not a new process. I can easily point to examples back in the 18th century, the 19th century, and even in the 20th century that made common use of this form in the industrial economy. But it's never been the dominant form of management. Only recently have we begun to see a new generation of managers really mastering this process and using it to develop software. It's not only the open source movement, Linux, WordPress, Mozilla. It's also transforming more conventional software projects through the agile and lean methods. We do get confused by superficialities. It is not the clothes we wear or the kind of offices we work in, or even the kind of food that's available to us. The free dissemination of knowledge is important, but it's not the only thing that's shaping our lives. The real change that software has wrought in us has changed in how we organize ourselves. This is a fundamental change, and this is the real change that's affecting our world. This is David Allen Greer. Take care.